welcome to my second HTML tutorial. Today we're going to just basically make a HTML document and see how many tags we can show off in it and show you what goes where. So the first thing you need to have in your HTML document here is our root tag. So everything goes inside of this tag. So let's just start out, and as you may guess, that tag is just called HTML. Let's expand this a bit, shall we? So for our next tag, we'll just close that normally. So now we can put things in between here. So what goes next? So let's start out with the header information. So let's put in the head tag. So what do we put in the head tag? Well, you can put in CSS, you can put in JavaScript, you can put in keywords, but what we're going to put in today is a title. So let's just do that. And we shall call this, I don't know, HTML tutorial lesson 2. So if we save that and refresh over here, you see this, it says HTML tutorial lesson 2. This is HTML tutorial lesson 2 because we just put that in there. And you're thinking, Saggy Pants, that's not all that useful so far. And you would be right. We need to add some information, some body to this document. So but in order to do that, we need to first put in a place for all that body information to go, and that goes in the body tag. So basically, every HTML document you're going to create is going to start out looking pretty much like this. Let's put in a paragraph. So we put in a paragraph, and I'm going to close my paragraph. And we will start with the basic computer science test message and say, "Hello world." You can refresh, and look, we finally got some text on the screen. Okay, so we got "Hello World" on the screen, so let's put in some more tags. Let's start a new paragraph, and one of the things you can do is link to things. Maybe we could put in a list of bookmarks. Before we get to that, there's actually a helper if we're making a list. And before we get to that, there's actually two kinds of lists. There's the ordered list and the unordered list. So the ordered list is basically a list of numbered steps, and the unordered list is usually a bulleted list of things. Before we get to links, let's put those in just to show you. We will put in OL, sorry. And this can be the end of OL. And then each item in the list is going to have the LI tag. So OL stands for ordered list. And we'll put about, 3 things. Eat breakfast, go to school. After that you can go home and play video games. So let's make another list, and this one will be an unordered list. And today we'll say this is an unordered list. Here is a shopping list. And so we'll put in, and notice that they use the same LI tag for both. We'll put in another 3 or 4 things. So we'll save this, and let's see the difference between an ordered and unordered list. So here's my ordered list. Eat breakfast, go to school, go home, play video games. And here's my unordered list. Now you'll notice that there is actually space between paragraphs. There's the unordered list, you get bullet points by default. Ordered list, you get numbers. Let's say you want to make a hierarchical list. Let's put this in an unordered list format, and that will show you that we can mix our ordered and unordered lists. Then you can see I have a list within a list here, but I can also change it around, change it to an ordered list. Look, changes to numbers. So you can have lists within lists. You can mix your ordered and unordered lists. Let's go back and just make a list that we want to have for bookmarks. So we can say my bookmarks. And let's just make an unordered list. Okay, so what should our first link be? Well, how about we just link to YouTube? So we have our A tag, we are hypertext referencing http://www.youtube.com, and then we are going to put that text in between, so we can say YouTube, and there you go. Okay, so let's put in our second link, and we'll just link it to Google. http://www.google.com, and then we'll put in text that just says Google. And we'll give them a motto: we spy on you, because they do. And look, see, it says Google, we spy on you. We click on it, and there's Google. Cool, huh? So you could see how you could just add a whole bunch of things, save this on your hard drive, and you'd have a less practical version of the bookmarks feature that's already in your browser. But as you can see, that's how you put in a hypertext A reference, some text in between, and things like that. Perhaps we want to go and change this my bookmarks thing around. Well, there are several different things we can do to change. These are all visual changes, and like I was saying earlier, they really ought to be in CSS. Perhaps we want a heading. So let's put in a paragraph here and say, let's show off the heading tags. And so the first one is heading 1. That's going to be the biggest. Heading level 1. Okay. I believe you get at least 4. The difference between each one is whether it's H1, H2, H3, or H4. So you can see heading level 1, quite big. Level 2, still big but smaller, and then you go down from there. Neat! But there's other things we can do. So let's show off some formatting. This text is in bold. In order to make something bold, we have the B tag. So we'll just put a B tag around that. And then we'll say this text is in, and this one will be the I tag. It stands for italics. And okay, one more. This text is, and it's the U tag, and that stands for underlined. Let's see what all that looks like. So let's show off some formatting. This text is in bold. That looks right. This text is in italics. That looks right. And this text is underlined. That looks right. But the eagle-eyed among you may say, wait a minute, we have line breaks here. And if you go over here, our line breaks are not preserved. And that is correct. HTML does not preserve line breaks. If you want to pre-format something in text, there is a way to do it. Although it doesn't look very good when you do it. It puts everything in a monospaced font. So we use the pre tag, which stands for pre-formatted text. There. And so if we go back here and refresh, you can see our box looks rather nice. Now, if we tried to just do that in a paragraph of our own, what would it look like differently? And so, hey, it just looks like a bunch of lines, or X's, because it did not save our formatting. Now we can break things up. We could do something like, say, this. Turn every line into its own paragraph. That should work, right? Nope, that doesn't work. Why? Well, for one thing, HTML does not preserve spacing, multiple spaces. If you have 3 spaces, it's going to say, no, that's too many. I'm not preserving that. You get one. And as you'll notice also, these are more than a line apart. If you want it to look a little better, so we could take out all these paragraph tags, and that'll put everything back on one line. And we can change these end paragraphs to BR, and it's a self-closing tag, so I'll put that slash at the end. So what's BR? Well, BR stands for basically line break. And look, it's back to lines that are properly spaced. But yeah, we still don't have those spaces we wanted. Well, there's one more way to fix that. We can put in a non-breaking space. You remember those entities I talked about last time? NBSP. That'll give you a non-breaking space. And HTML will not ignore that one. So if we go back here, yeah, we finally have our box. Looks a little weird, but we got it. And part of that is the spacing, because the spaces are not the same width as the characters. And so there's not much you can do about it. If you want to make pretty boxes in ASCII art, you need the pre-tag. So one tag I was going to show you but didn't. Image tag. And we will have our IMG, which stands for image. And so I can put text in here, and if you, let's just put in some text and see where it shows up. Why don't you? And so you need a source. What is your source? We need a document to pull up. So we'll put it in this document. So we'll just put this in, and let's see where that text image goes. Here's how you show it. Oh, that's too big. I want it, and see, here's text. Text is basically caption of the image. I think that's about all we want to get through today. So remember, the HTML tag has to hold all the tags. The header tag holds your title, and you want to put that in the top. So in the body tag is where you put all your text, and the P tag is paragraph, so you can mark things in paragraph. The header tags, H1 through 4, it might go further, but 4 is enough for now. They show headers. You can do ordered and unordered lists, and you can nest them arbitrarily as long as you get the tags nested right. And inside of either type of list, you have a list item, which is LI. You can do some text formatting, so B for bold, I for italics, U for underline. If you have ASCII art or pre-formatted text, you can put in a pre-tag. If you really need to put in line breaks, you can do this BR /. If you want to put in spaces that won't get gobbled up and disappeared because HTML doesn't like that, you have extra spaces hanging around, you can put in this ampersand NBSP semicolon, and that stands for non-breaking space. As I said in the previous tutorial, GT and LT would be the greater than and less than signs, and I believe there's also some for quotes. And images are the IMG tag, and you see that A is the anchor tag, and you can reference other web servers or just pages on your own site. And I think that's pretty good. So let's call this a video. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Sorry it took me so long to get to episode 2. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.